Yo, 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 BigBack-Zack is back attacking your feed. It has been a while. Thank God all is good over here. I'm as healthy as can be right now. I'm peaceful and trying to stay peaceful. Love myself. I hope you're loving yourself. And I hope you're finding some stuff to be happy about in life and take joy in life, and that you're doing well if you're watching this. It's been a while since I've posted. I do seasonal work, and since my last video, I finished 6 months doing a seasonal position, and I just haven't really had the energy or desire to make any more videos. I'd really like to try and get more consistent with this, especially if it's helping someone or just, you enjoy hearing these stories. I was laying in bed and watching a lot of Ye videos, Kanye West, a lot of his Sunday service videos and just interviews and stuff like that, and got me thinking about mental health and schizophrenia and my schizoaffective disorder, and got me wanting to make a video about my first psychotic break. Hopefully, if you're watching this, you have never experienced and will never experience a psychotic break. If you have, just know I love you. Just know you're strong, and recovery is possible. It might be a hard road. It might be a long road. It might be a road that sometimes you're going up a hill and then all of a sudden you fucking shoot right down that hill, and you're at the bottom and you're having to fight your way up again. But recovery is possible. So yeah, I just kind of want to talk about my first psychotic break, kind of what happened, and maybe y'all are able to learn something from this. And if you know anyone, or if you're going through a psychotic break, if you know anyone that's going through a psychotic break, I really pray for them. For me, for myself, I really, throughout high school didn't have any real issues with mental health. When I was a young man, I lost my father pretty early, but I didn't feel like it really affected me or affected my mental health too much at that age, at least. After high school, I went to a community college, and I did really well in community college. Kind of figured out some ways to, I figured out some ways to really maximize my potential for getting good grades, if that makes sense. They're using Rate My Professor. Our community college had this grade distribution website, so it would show you all these, professors and the classes that were being offered and what professors, what grades they were giving, etc., etc., etc. So I went to community college, did really well, and got a full ride to a university, right? So my first psychotic break happened in the summer between my last year of community college, I guess the end of my sophomore year of community college, into my first year, which would be my junior year of university. So I was on my way to university for the first time. It was still in the city that I had grown up in, but it was a prestigious university. It is a prestigious university. I was really proud of myself to have been able to get into that university, and not only to get in, but to get a full ride. And yeah, stuff was looking up. In high school, did not use drugs, did not drink alcohol. I was like, well, I have to wait till I'm 21 to drink, and weed's the devil's lettuce, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. In community college, I started smoking weed some and really, really enjoyed it. But I found out pretty quickly that I'm someone that if something makes me feel good, I want that feeling all the time, 24/7. So I made the decision to not smoke when I had classes. When I was taking classes, I wasn't going to smoke. But if there's a break, Christmas break, whatever, then yeah, I'm going to get as high as I can, right? So this little break was happening. It was like a summer break, you know, because school was out. But I had to take a summer class. So I had 2 weeks in between the end of my last class at community college and the start of this summer class. The summer class was just like a prerequisite class that would make my time in university easier. I wouldn't need to take this math class at the university. So I wanted to get it over with. And in the 2 weeks leading up to this summer course, I was smoking a bunch of cannabis. I don't know if this has anything to do with the psychotic break or, you know, anything like that, but this is just my experience, so I'm sharing it. Smoking a lot of cannabis, and I decided to stop. You know, that class was coming around, I had to stop, right? And I remember driving to the class, right? Like my first day of class, it was at a community college that I had never taken a class at, but I was really familiar with the area. I had driven from my house to basically there's a little park that I used to go fish at right by that community college. And I knew how to get there, knew the route. And I was going on the freeway, right? And I knew what exit I had to take, but I didn't take the exit. And it was a solid 15-20 minutes before I realized, like, oh shit, like I was supposed to fucking take that exit, right? Like, what the fuck? So I turned around and I was just, you know, my mind was kind of all over the place, right? It was just like, I was thinking so much that I wasn't even focusing on what I was doing at the moment. I was having so many thoughts, I wasn't focusing on what I was doing at the moment. Fast forward a couple days, it gets to the point where I don't really know what was going on in my head, right? But I think that my family has like hacked into the LAPD system, and the LAPD is like looking for me, and that they're like communicating with my family, and like my family's communicating to me through the LAPD. Like fucking, I think like fire truck was about me, and I'd see like these fucking, I don't know, helicopters and shit, and it was crazy, right? And I remember at this point, like my mom and stuff, she's kind of like what's, you know, something's going on, and she's had her own mental health struggles, so she is somewhat familiar with psychotic breaks and, you know, mania and stuff like that. And she was just, you know, trying to be there for me. And I remember going to the house of somebody she worked for. It was like a, you know, person that she did house cleaning and just different various tasks for them. I remember being at that woman's house, and this woman had her bedroom, right? And she had a bathtub. And from the bathtub, you could see the TV that was in her bedroom. So I'm chilling in the bath, right? Nothing like a fucking bath. If you haven't taken a bath in a while and you have the chance, go take a bath. Put some Epsom salts in there. Maybe get a, you know, read a book or put some music. Just relax. Feel that freaking hot, nice water. Oh my gosh, a bath. So good. So anyway, I'm taking a bath. I'm watching this TV, right? And I don't know what the show is now, but I've seen the show before, right? Like I've seen, it was on like A&E or some shit like that, right? And it was sort of like a history type show, right? Where they'd show little things and then they'd have like a little kind of close up of someone talking, doing like an interview about what's going on, right? So I'm looking at this motherfucker, right? excuse my language. I'm looking at this person, this guy, and he's talking, right? And it's not my family, but out of his mouth comes the voice, like the voices of my family, right? Like people that I know in my family, their voice was coming out of his mouth that was playing on the TV. it sounded exactly like specific people in my family, right? And those voices were telling me that either myself or my mom needed to die. One of us needed to die. And it was saying that my mom was better for the village, which was like our family community. So I should kill myself, right? So I'm like, okay, for sure. Like, yeah, well, you know, like if it needs to be one of us, I'll fucking sacrifice myself for my mom. So I remember being in the bathtub and I fucking got this. It was like I don't know if it was like for a blow dryer or what, but it was like some sort of cord. And I started freaking, strangling myself pretty much. And I was doing that till my mom walked in and saw what the fuck I was doing. Like, what the fuck? I mean, excuse my language again. But she was like, what the heck are you doing? And she stopped me, and it was, after that experience, I didn't have anything that was so, like, such a dramatic action. But it was still months before I really had my mind back. Like going into like afterwards, I got put on some medications. I think like risperidone and maybe Wellbutrin. I forget exactly which medications they were. But like I still did it. I didn't understand it. I thought 100% like that really happened, that was real life. And for somebody if somebody who's never experienced a psychotic break, the best way that I am able to describe it is like when you have those dreams, right? They feel so real. It's like you wake up, where the heck's my $1,000,000? Like, what the heck happened to that? Like, I was right here when I, and you wake up and it's like, darn tootin', it's a freaking dream. Psychotic break is like that dream, right? It feels that real, but you're awake for everything. So all these hallucinations you're having, even though nobody else experiencing what you're experiencing, it feels extremely real to you. It feels like it is real in that moment to you. It's just, it's terrible. It's hard. It's fucking, I don't know how the heck it happens, but it happens, and recovery is possible. It took me a while. You know what I mean? I've had more psychotic breaks since that one. It's now, so it's almost 2026. It's almost been 10 years since my first psychotic break, and it's still, every day is a battle. You know what I mean? Really, really is. But thank God we're here, we're healthy, and we're given the ability to keep fighting this battle. Thank you for watching. Love you. Hope you got something out of that. BigBack-Zack is out.